when he realized it for sure who his Zoj was. Yeah, no doubt about it. He was very, don't give her no more money. Give it to so-and-so now. Fine. Too late, I done gave him everything, the $1 zillion, cash money. He never, my idea about that was, I'm not going to get involved in the nickel and dime Negro stuff. I can see what it is. So I'm going to raise as much money as I can for the case. Because if I were to mess with them Negroes, I wouldn't want to do nothing. Because it wouldn't be. Anyway, so all over the years, this longevity teaches you the processes that they have. And they strategically locate that it's a miracle anybody would survive. We're a miracle. We're a big, big miracle. Don't let nobody tell you, oh, them just niggas sitting around talking. That's not true. It's not true at all. We're acting like, oh, the water's fine, jump on in. But we know what they did to, technically we're a blessed community. We're very, very blessed because there's nobody else doing what we do or nobody else talking like we talk. There's nobody else that's been around as long. There's people been around, but they ain't been doing what we've been doing. They haven't been saying what we've been saying, and they haven't had the experience, and they haven't had 95% of ability is stickability, the ability to hold on. That's why I like that Japanese guy that turned over his sword. He said, you want my sword? You call my commander to put me on this post. That's the way I feel about this post. The only way I'm getting off this post is somebody come and they got a card or something on that you know is glowing. It comes from I'm coming from Allah, and Allah sent me to tell you this, that, and another. It's the only way I'm leaving the post. This is the way it go. That's the way it is, and I like it like that. It don't make no difference if people be judging. Oh, you have a full house one day and the next day won't nobody talk to you. It don't make no difference. This is our job. Imagine if we was in Bosnia, what the job would be. That job. Everybody look at our job and say, man, ain't nobody never slipped up on Boss Man. Well, that was in Boss Man's heyday. That's when when his sails was wide open, he catching all the wind. That was during his time. Now, anything associated with him is headed down. We're here now at the right time. That was a time when the Zionists could do anything in the world. They steal the people's land and make it, and now they can't do nothing right. There's a whole group of brothers dug their way out of the penitentiary, maximum security with a spoon. The spoon, what did they do with the dirt? What are you going to do? What? And I'm thinking, boy, them boys hooked that up. It might have been like another thing. They used to put it in their pants and go out and shake it out on the. But was it concreto out there where they was walking on the yard? How often they go out? You know what I mean? And they shake you down coming in, but not going out. So, whatever it was, they didn't already won that. If they get caught, all of them tomorrow, which I don't believe they'll get caught. But if it's one or two, I don't believe all 6 of them because they done already separated by now. They done already separated a long time ago. And they got many places to go. So, but you got to remember, this is a long line of humiliations. And they're out in the open about the Zionists. They're saying, yeah, we did this, we bombed Iran, this, that, and the other, right? Everybody know, and it's all right. Right? It's okay, it's fine. So it's not hidden information, it's open, clear information. Okay, now we have a program that when stuff happens with us, we know it's out in the open. We force it out in the open. We like our job. I don't know if I would like to do this in Chechnya. Maybe, but it's cold over there. You know, in Chechnya, they'd have you could see in Grozny, all the houses was bombed out and they living out in the open in that weather. I know probably we might say, I don't know, I'll see you next week, you know, that fair weather revolutionary right after the spring. I mean, after the spring, or in the summer, because the spring up there is still, it ain't warm enough. You know, if we was choosing anybody to look at what we deal with here, it's impossible. That's why it's our job. It's our job because this is our environment. And what we do, we're used to it. And when we talk about lower your bucket, we're here, we can lower our bucket here because for us here, all of that water everything coming is fresh water. For somebody else, it may just not be, you know what I mean? They wouldn't, you could see immigrants and others, they're not into doing nothing here. Either they wasn't built for it, or they look at me like I'm crazy, and they're certain. And everything we try to do to help them, you go back, they got 9/11 coming up. When 9/11 come up, we went out there as a group to help all of them. And that was it. They didn't want us around no more. They had a different idea. We're going to go. They said, over Dar Hijra, they said, we're going to have American women and Muslim women, the American women, the white women, they're going to put on hijab and stand out in front of Dar al-Hijra and protect us. I said, so you stay behind. The Quran just mentioned staying behind with who? Who stays behind? It's not bad, but it's the girls, right? And when you organize on certain levels, the first level is the men. The next level is the young people, like especially young boys. You know what I mean? The third level is when the women come in. If you're going to fight to the last, that's them. Then, but if you want to stay behind in the first group, you stay behind with them. Is what the Quran says, right? That's what they said. And you know the word qawam. I said, the Quran don't say that. When I told them that over there, they thought this is a new revelation. What? They looked at me, a Negro, like, that's really there. Men are the protectors and maintainers of women. You can't hide behind your mama's skirt, other girls. You can't do it. I'm telling you, they so far gone. I sit there and looked at them, and then they had that line congressman used to come over there, I forget his name. He's come over there and talk, and the brothers were so impressed that he was stuttering when he would introduce, and he would use Prophet Muhammad in the place of Allah and Allah in the place of Prophet. And he's Syrian. He knows this stuff. He's the chief over there. So these guys, and of course, we wasn't liked. And at the same time, the whole crew, they liked everybody that was useless. They loved Nihad over there. You want to have a fundraiser? $1 billion. Y'all can do little, y'all can pick up the garbage and stuff and walk past one time, but you can't be, after a while, they didn't want us to be seen too much. Because in the big demonstration, we were always seen. Remember that? We all there in black, and no matter, the brothers used to get mad at Marty Bray and those guys, because they were, I'll get back to the subject, but it's all part of it. Those guys were like, okay, we would handle the stage. Okay, now remember people would hand us their babies. They'd take a picture, and we was known as the men in black. And everybody liked us. They said, that's it for them niggas. That's it. So the point was, I would tell the brothers, I said, don't worry about it. They would be like, you got to get rid of so-and-so over there. I said, don't worry about it. They got to give you more time to speak. Not necessary. So, if we had the demonstration down there, one of the last big demonstrations, when there was 500,000 people down there, right? Okay, it was 500,000 people down on the mall. That's serious. Okay. And they was acting like, I told the white folks, answering all of them, you remember all them big buckets of money? What did we do with them? Put them in the tent, the medical tent. Because the people collecting money, they would come back and just set the doggone things right down by the stairs. And I think I did tell them, I said, you do that again, I said, I'm going to cut the Negroes loose on your behind. And then you're going to have a half a bucket instead of them big buckets. Who knows how much money was there? Who knows? But they didn't care nothing about the money. That's why you could tell that they were supported by it. They had plenty of support. And so we took the money and put it in the medical tent, right? Yeah. And then we watched the money to make sure they got the money. We didn't ask them for none of it, but it was money. It was money in there. Because you see $100 bills, 10s and 20s, and change, the things was heavy. So if you just had change and no bills, if you had 18 buckets, you had that's $1 million worth, them big old yellow, red, orange buckets, full of money. And it'd be money on top of money. Anyway, that's the same day the white lady that make movies was speaking down, Susan Sarandon. And she was just sitting there on the steps like a regular. I said, that's good. That's good. I said, she's probably the only happy white lady in Hollywood. But when you're doing something, yeah, no, I know. I'm saying is that when you're doing something like that, you don't ever read that they're going crazy or you know what I mean, they're unhappy. You know what I mean, that they've been smoking too much. They've been smoking a little weed, but that don't stop you from being a revolutionary. Anyway, no, we done had tons of experience, man, here. And the brothers always didn't understand what we was doing. I said, we go down there, don't worry. That means we're going to control the stage. Whoever comes on the stage, they're going to have to come through us, right? So technically, we're managing the whole program. Don't worry. they'll give you more time. I said, don't worry about it. Down by the White House, everywhere, we have enough time. Number one, they see all the brothers in black, right? Number two, I come up and they see me and they hear a few things I have to say, and don't talk too long because that'll take that good impression that they have. You see what I mean? No, you gotta, hey, everybody, all the organizations respected where we was coming from because they could tell we're not, and the Congress lady used to be in Congress down in Georgia, the sister that they was raiding a house or had the white folks scared her to death. She was pro-Palestinian, and